seen that.
Oh, right.
Stop it. I don't know. Try it. I don't know. Maybe. How about?
Oh, it says fly.
Yep, I know. Wait. There we go. Ooh, loud. There we go. All right. So we are live, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to be doing some knife sharpening. And I got some new stones I want to test out. I got a couple vitrified stones and some other bonded stones. I got a bunch of different stones. I'm not sure all we're going to check out. This one right here is a new premium silver, which, man, it has a weird smell. Very chemical. But it is a 1500 grit, so that's not obviously something I would start on. But I'm interested in seeing how it does because these silvers, I have some silvers in the really coarse edges or really coarse grits, and I like them a lot. Like, I'm starting to think that they could potentially be like the best low grit bonded stones. So I'm possibly going to, I'm not sure yet. I'm still determining because money is always a factor, right? I'm thinking about putting together like a mixed bag of stones, like a 6-stone setup to sell on the site, but I want the best of the best. Like, I want to be confident that I feel that it's the best. And that could potentially be like 3 stones from this, 2 stones from this, and 2 stones from this, and equaling, you know, the perfect mixed bag stones, because some stones that are really good with the fine grits are not necessarily good with the coarse grits, and some of them, the coarse ones, can't necessarily even get to the fine grits. So it just depends, and potentially the silvers could possibly be like the best coarse, you know, for reprofiling and actually sharpening bonded stones I've tried so far. What's going on, Eric? What's going on, guys? I appreciate you guys being here. Any members? Well, I'll wait, but I'll speak to the members in a second. Mark Kynes gay. Okay. Pop that top, daddy. So I'm gonna pull out another stone here. So I got a bunch of different stones. Oh yeah, by the way, this is, I forget the name of this. It's a Max Ace knife. You can find it in the Max Ace link down in the description. I do have a little bit of a discount code. They did exactly what I said they should do. So when I first reviewed this knife, I had to give it, I loved it, but I had some problems. One, the clip would not go all the way in the pocket, but now they have a better pocket clip. So now it's way deeper, or has way more room. Next thing is they have the thumb stud. So they added a one-sided thumb stud to it. So now you don't have to grip it with 2 fingers and just open it. You can flick it. And this is like a super smooth backlock, like one of the smoothest backlocks ever. This is bone and then titanium. So this is a premium knife, magnet cut steel. So it's very thin though, very thin, very slicey. I love the profile of it. Like, this is totally my style knife. So I'm gonna tune this puppy up, and then we're gonna move on to some Butterfork knives. If you guys have never heard of them, stay tuned because they're pretty cool. They're actually using I guess you could say a new steel. It's their own steel, and I guess it did really, really well in the Contra test. I just don't know how much I trust the Contra test. I honestly don't trust them really at all, and I can explain that if you guys don't understand why. But been forever since I caught a live. Arrowhead, nice to see you, man. I hope this looks clear. How's the because I've had trouble all week, guys, with internet. Might be. Oh no, it's messed up. All right, let me grab this other mic right here. Yo, how's that? That should be a lot better. I don't know what happened to my other mic I was using. Probably on the ground over there. Anyways, how audio up? How's that now? Better? How is the visual? Because that's what I've had trouble with, was the Kara's upstairs. Kara is upstairs. I mean, what? Oh, she's right there. Thought she was upstairs. I don't know if we should start with a Toma because this is very thin, but Tomas are always like the best stones to, you know, to go from like 140 grit up to 1200 grit because they cut so fast. But I want to try some other stones today. So here is some of the bonded stones that I was talking about just a minute ago. Maybe we'll start on some of these. So this is the silvers that I was talking about. We got premium silver, well, a couple premium silvers right here. These things are super aggressive for bonded stones. They're not like an atoma, but they're very aggressive. This one is a vitrified. So this is a vitrified 225. It's very similar to the silver, but I can see there is a difference. Then we have a premium silver and premium vitrified over here. So this is just a different one. Again, I can see the difference in the vitrified. And we have another vitrified in 550. I'm going to set these with the vitrifieds. And then another premium silver. So these are the new stones I've been kind of testing out. Now, typically these would be for fixed angled systems. But, you know, if you're good at sharpening, you can sharpen on just about anything. So I could sharpen on this, no problem. Just like this. But I'm going to get a big stone out to at least reprofile. Maybe we'll use these here in a minute. Not sure. Because it is nice having a nice big stone. I do have this thing, which is this is a vitrified stone. So this is vitrified diamond, which is basically, to my understanding, a vitrified stone is, it's like an epoxy or a resin mixed with, I think, ceramic powder and then diamonds. I think that's how the way it works. What's up, Q-Ball? There I am. There you are. All right, I just want to see something, see if I'm going to hit my thumb stud. Oh, that feels really good. This is a 400 grit, but this is a great 400 grit. Like, this is like the perfect grit. It, maybe not for everything, but the perfect grit for just like if you wanted a one and done stone, because it's coarse enough that you can sharpen on it, but it's also fine enough, or it leaves a fine enough edge, I should say, that you could use it as a finishing stone. I wouldn't probably use it as a finishing stone. I'd want something a little bit finer, but it's really good. We're going to use dish soap and water here. All right, we have dish soap and water. I'm going to soak that puppy up. You know what I really love about this? Just like even my Venives, is that using them has the same feedback as like a Japanese water stone, except for they cut faster. They cut any steel like magnet cut, and they're just better. You don't have to flatten them as long. They don't wear as fast. Dope fucking hat. You like that shit? You like that? Got me some Heretic. Want to get a strap with some stroppy stuff. What single micron do you recommend? Okay, so I'll be honest, I typically recommend, if you only want a one and done, to get a 6 micron. But I'll tell you what, I've been using a 1/2 micron lately, and that shit is fire. Like, their 1/2 micron for some reason is just like super concentrated. I've been loving their 1/2 micron. So I would say I would get anything between a 1/2 micron, the 1 micron, 3 micron, or a 6 micron. But yeah, I've been using that 1/2 micron in just about everything, and it's been working out really, really well. You just want to make sure, you know, your emulsion is not fresh. You don't have to have it absolutely fresh, but make sure it's not beat up too much. Make sure, you know, after you've used it a bunch, you recoat it. And another thing is, if you've built it up too much, clean it off. Get some rubbing alcohol and just spray your strop and scrub it down really good, and then put a nice fresh layer on it. That will make your stropping compound way, way, way more effective. All right, so basically using my thumb right now to just basically find an angle, and then I'm using that just to like pick a spot, and then I'm going to cut in a nice bevel, because the bevel I'm cutting in is way bigger than the bevel that was on this. The bevel that's on this is, I don't even know, probably a 30-degree bevel. It's very thin geometry, but my new edge bevel is it's gonna be way bigger. I mean, like way bigger is, you know, kind of exaggerating, I guess. But when you understand edges, you'd understand it is. It's like half. So it's probably double the size. So working on the heel right here, that's what I'm focusing on while I push back and forth, getting that groove. Once I got that groove and I feel like I'm set and I got my angle good, now I'm going to push it across the stone, lock my wrist, and lift my elbow until I get to the tip. When I get to the tip, I might take my finger and push it into it just to ensure that I got. Now once I'm done, all I got to do is lift up, back up, drop my elbow, and I should be right back basically at the same angle as long as I didn't move my wrist. So you should be able to go back and forth like this. You just got to focus on locking that wrist and only using your body, your shoulder, and your elbow to move the knife. That way you can lock that. Oh yeah, that already looks fucking great, man. Beautiful bevel already. I think I'm already, yeah, I already got a little burr. Soapy water makes for stones. So soapy water for certain stones. Some stones are going to be water. This is for bonded stones. Metal bonded, you don't need anything. But if it's a hybrid, resin bond, vitrified, yeah, soapy water works really, really well. I've also noticed the soapy water works really good for Arkansas stones. You just want to get enough soap in there, a good enough squirt, that when you put the water in, you start to shake it up, you'll hear the water slush back and forth, and then all of a sudden you hear it get quiet. Here, I got quiet. So that's when you know the recipe's good. That's the ratio. Okay, we need to go back here. So now, finish this side. So now I'm just going to take and flip my burr back over. I don't really need to do that this low of a grip because I'm going to remake it anyways, but get a couple passes on there just to look at it. Again, I'm going to focus at the heel first. Always focus at the heel first. Kind of cut that little bevel in right there, get that groove, lock my wrist, bring it across the stone, and lock my wrist. Like I said, lift my elbow to get to the tip. Now when I lift up, I'm just going to lift my arm straight up, not moving my elbow, or not moving my wrist, just drop my elbow right down to the same spot. And then over time, you will get so used to that you won't have to do that anymore. Like what you're trying to do is create the muscle memory. Like me, I don't have to do that anymore. I can move my wrist around because I understand, like when I do, I can feel exactly how much I did it and how to put it back. But that takes time to know. It's kind of like in a car, like if you were going to set it around corners, you know, and like drift around corners, you got to really understand the feeling of drifting to drift, right? So like if you don't, just getting in a car and knowing how to drive a car doesn't mean you're going to do shit. So you just got to get that muscle memory, get that feeling. Lock that wrist, only use your elbow. And we are pretty much good. I feel a little, oh no, we got a burr all the way across, damn near. Maybe a little bit at the tip. We'll get that on the next stone. What lube is best for, what lube is best for diamond grit on aluminum? I found the aluminum base oxidizes badly. Just saying it in the drawer. Well, aluminum oxidizes, but that doesn't, it's not going to do anything. It's not like it's rusty or anything, so I wouldn't really worry about it. But you can oil it if you want. Like if you want to protect it, I would just clean it off with alcohol, you know, maybe a buffing rag or something, and then you know, coat it with a little layer of oil. Any oil will work. Any 3-in-1 oil. All right, so we did this one. This is a 400 grit. Now we're gonna move to, this is a Nanawa. You can find these on Amazon. This is a 600 Nanawa resin bonded diamond. These are like, they're kind of expensive, like 160 bucks. However, these last a very, very long time, and there are diamonds infused in this. And this is the part you guys gotta understand. Like, say this, right? You know how many carats are in this? Like just this stone alone, like 20 carats of diamond in this. That's crazy. When you really find out the amount of diamond that are in some of these, now that one would be a higher ratio than something like this because it's a coarser stone, but I believe it's going to be, you know, still around the same. This one doesn't have as much bond though. All right. I didn't win on MC, so you're here. You didn't win on MC? Oh, shit, man. Better luck next time. Better luck next time. If you're a member, we have a giveaway coming up on Monday. So if you are a member, prepare for Monday. Monday will be the mystery giveaway, which we've never done before. But basically, I have 5 boxes of stuff. Instead of doing 15 giveaways, I'm going to basically do 5 with, like, I don't know, 8 items in each box or something like that. And each one will have a premium and a budget knife. And yeah, and all you got to be is a member. I'm going to post it on Monday, and then just enter the video, or just enter, you know, into that giveaway. As long as you're a member, you will see it, and you know what to do if you are. You just leave a comment in the video. Hey, Neeves, I bought a Lee Lerman today. Never heard of them before. I never heard of them either. Fell in love with the knife on the site. Have you ever held one? I don't think so. Lee Herman. See, when you say that, I'm thinking Lee William, the kickstop. Popping in to say hello, and then back to see mom in the hospital. Definitely take care of your mother. Going, I mean, I guess she's in the hospital, so give her my blessings. Jared, be safe and don't cut yourself. No promises. No promises whatsoever. Let me just check this edge out. Wow, this is a very good 600 grit. This is a very accurate 600 grit. That's one thing that I do like about it. Some 600 grits are finer than others. Some of them are coarser than others. This is a great representation of what I would say a 600 grit is. This would be a great finishing stone if you want an edge that has a lot of bite, but it's fine enough for most things, but aggressive enough for others. Man, that looks beautiful. Scratch pattern looks really good. I see a little bit of glinting at the heel, so I'm going to fix that now. Sometimes I like to go back and forth on the stone without lifting off. But then other times, like, I find a groove in lifting and coming back. And if you can find that groove, do whichever one serves you best. Sometimes it depends on the knife, the stone, everything for me. There's times where I'll set the knife down and I can just tell, like, I can lock in. Whatever you can hold your angle best on. Bro, how do you keep that angle so consistent at the end when you are twisting your wrist? I feel like my elbows start moving like they're on the top shelf. So I can move my wrist just because I know the habit, but I try to teach not to. So I try to teach, pinch it, lock it in with your hand, right? Whatever's comfortable. Get it on the stone, focus at the heel, and then once you got your angle set, lock your wrist. And then you want to try to repeat it. So a good way to repeat it is to go with the most comfortable, right? So meaning, like, what is the most comfortable angle for me to hold right now? It's like, it's right there, right? So I'm more likely to be able to find that spot again because that's where I'm comfortable. Now, also, you can kind of feel it. It takes a long time to feel this, but you can feel when it's on the bevel, especially if you're cutting in a large one. But, like, I could go back and forth like this and stay locked in where I never have to get off the stone. That helps a lot of people. It helped me big time in the beginning, where I'm just pushing back and just dropping my elbow. When I'm lifting up, lifting back, I'm literally just pulling my elbow back and lifting it. So it's literally all elbow right now. I'm just in and out, in and out. And that looks really good. This one right here is a Nanawa resin bonded stone. The first one we started with was a vitrified diamond. What happened? What's happening, Bang Gang? What's up, brother? How you doing, man? I was just telling if any members are in here that we are doing a giveaway video on Monday, so keep your eye out. It'll be a recorded video so you guys can enter the giveaway and check it. Ooh, man, that thing's already sticky. I might just finish on this right now. I really like this edge. So I'm just gonna hit it a few times on here, lower my burr down, and then I'm gonna grab a finer stone and I'm gonna use that. Oh yeah, I wanted to try this 1500. You know what, actually, we're gonna move over to this 1500 silver. I want to see really quick, because it feels a little bit aggressive. I just want to feel it out. So these silvers, you don't really need any type of lubrication. This is just ridiculous. I got some stone holders coming where you can just click it and move it. So hopefully I'll have those on the site soon. This thing's driving me nuts the way it is. How you guys doing? What's up, Henry? Rickard? Thank you guys for coming. Do you ever sharpen without stropping? Yeah. Well, so one thing, you don't have to always strop. If your burr snaps off cleanly, and I mean like perfectly cleanly, you use your stone to knock the burr and clean the burr completely off. Now, if the burr's being finicky, that's when a strop is really good. Now, it's nice that after the end, even if the burr comes off really nice with, I didn't need to put water on that, but even if the edge comes out really nice and the burr comes off really nice, just to touch the leather a little bit, because what it's going to do is that leather, think about a serrated blade, right? Those serrations are microscopic on here. So just think about a microscopic serrated blade. Well, after you've removed the burr, in between each serration probably has some buildup, right? Of whether it's from stone, whether it's the burr, whether it's some of the microscopic teeth. So what you're going to do is you're going to use that leather and it's going to clean out each one of those serrations. Oh, wow, that does actually feel finer. Holy shit. It does not by touch. Okay. All right, well, let's get her done. Let's try it out. Oh, that feels really good, actually. Surprisingly really good. Can't wait to try these on a fixed angled system. That is actually pretty damn good. It has a scent to it though. It's fresh though. It's the first time I've ever used it. It's got it smells like oil or like a paint shop. Easiest sharpener to get a professional edge. Easiest sharpener? Thank you. Appreciate that. Oh, I thought you were saying me. TS Prof K03. That's the best. Now there's other systems you don't have to spend that much. Anything from TS Prof is going to be good, but the more you spend, the less frustrations, the less things you're going to have to deal with. So they do cost money. If you want, there's you know what, WorkSharp just came out with that case. That case is a really good setup for about $450. You get 3 bonded stones and then 6 diamond plates, I think, and then a strop, a ceramic honing rod or honing plate, and you get the system, the digital angle finder. You literally get everything you're going to need. Now they do have this now for the WorkSharp, which is their new. And this is a game changer, by the way. This is a stone holder that they have. Look at this. So you can size it to whatever length, you know, from 4-inch all the way up to 6-inch with this. Lock it in, and then you can, you know, this is actually a pretty cool little tool. So this is what I recommended to them last year when I did the full review. I said, man, you guys got to make a universal stone holder. Otherwise, another company's going to come in and do it. And another company did. But now, you know, they take a little while to get it. But once they do, they got one now, so very cool. But yes, the WorkSharp professional precision adjust case with the bonded stones. If you buy that, you have everything you need. You can, yes, obviously always add stuff into it, and the system is not going to be as good as a TS Prof. However, for the majority of people, it's going to be perfectly fine, and you have every single thing you're ever going to need for sharpening in there. You will have to replace the diamond plates eventually. you know, like with, you know, sharpening super steels and stuff, we have to use diamond. That's the thing. You have to use diamond. So the question is, do you want to save money now, or do you want to save money in the long run? If you want to save money now, you should get diamond plates. If you want to save money in the future, you should get bonded diamond. Bonded diamond doesn't wear out. It lasts for damn near a lifetime, depending on how thick and how much you're sharpening. But diamond plates wear out. And they wear out sometimes quickly, depending on the quality of the diamond plate. So you want to replace them, you know, often if you're though by doing that, but you will have to replace them. If you just shell out the money now, you with bonded stones, then you don't ever have to buy anything else. But they are fucking expensive. Curtis, been a member for 32 months with the fucking Spartans. NKD in the pocket today picked up a custom Kirby Lambert. That's badass and good for you. Supposedly an early one-off. Also, finally broke down and bought a 140, 400, 600, 1200 8x3 Atomas. Hell yeah, Curtis. I hope you bought it from the Neve Knife Co. site. I hope you bought it from the Neve Knife Co. site. I'm just saying. But no, that's awesome, man. I got Atomas actually right down here. I was gonna pull them out. Crazy Roach, been a member for 14 months. What up, brother? All right, let's see how we're going. All right, I'm gonna just do a little bit more over here because I see a little bit of facets. Just gonna clean it up. Yeah, that looks great. Okay, so I am going to. I could remove my burr on this. This is pretty fine. Let's just do it on this one. Yeah, that's fine enough. Oh yeah. So what I did was I did an edge trailing pass. So my burr, I just finished on this side, so my burr was flipped over here like this, like a hook, so I can feel it when I go like this. So now what I want to do is I just want to flip it over to the other side, which is basically just fatiguing it. Think about it like a paper clip. You're bending it back and forth until it snaps off. So that's what you're trying to do with the burr. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do edge trailing passes, tip to heel, because my serrations are going this way. So I don't want to just rip through so that I'm hitting the tips of my serrations. I don't want to do that. I don't want it to be like this and snapping them off. I want it to be like this. So that would be the back side of them from tip to heel. So I'm going to do that back and forth, flipping the burr back and forth, back and forth, back and forth until I feel it's mostly gone. Then I'm going to do some forward passes. And then we will hit it on a strop. Feel it? Yeah, that feels great. We got the 1/2 micron stroppy stuff here, the pink stuff. Fresh strop too. I just recently recoated it. You can see I've used it on the corners, but I haven't used the middle yet. Let's do it. Oh yeah, man, I love this stropping compound. So concentrated, man. Shake your bottles up really good. I know sometimes they say you don't have to shake them up because they're suspended. Shake them up anyways, just because. Shake them up really, really good. Look at the bottom sometimes and see if there's any accumulation of diamonds. So shake it up until that's gone if you do see that. But my goodness, is that just... You can see it. That felt really, really... Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That felt good. Oh, yeah, look at that. Look how quiet that sounds. Heel to tip. Nice and slow. Let's do a swirl if I can. I can, but not enough paper. We'll do paper towel. That'll be game changer. Paper towels, ultimate test. Look at that. That is fucking sharp. So I want to show you guys something. So I did my review on my knife design that I'm dropping soon, right? So it's got a lot of gunk on it. It'll probably still cut just fine, but it's not going to be like super clean like you just seen, right? We're going to use the strop and see if we can't bring it back to life. So what I'm going to do is just look at it. So you see how it's like catching a little bit? It's still cutting just fine, but it's definitely catching. Let's feel the tip. The tip's going to be a lot more difficult. I can saw through it. So I want to get it cutting almost as good as that one. So we got the strop. I'm going to lower back my view. So when you're strapped, the magic trick is to lift. So like basically like lay your edge down flat, like on the spine, but you basically want to lift up until you see the very apex, the part that cuts you, just touch the leather. I know even when I first started strapping, I would hit the leather and I would think, am I really on the bevel right now? Or do I need to lift it up a little bit higher? Do I need to drop it? Like I would be so confused if I'm hitting it because you can't feel it. So don't worry about feeling it. Worry about just seeing it touch, right? So as soon as you see, just look underneath the edge. And what you're going to see is you're going to see a little shadow. Lift up the spine, just like I'm doing now. Lift it up, just like this. So you just lay it down and then lift it up until you see it touch. Once literally the apex just barely touches, that's your angle. So what you're going to do is just bam, right there. That's my angle. So what I'm going to do is now I'm going to lock my wrist the way I said before, lock my wrist, and I'm going to just use my elbow. So basically I'm up high right now. So when I go, I'm going to push forward and I'm just going to drop my elbow. Since I'm going to use the edge because this has a little recurve on it, but if it didn't, like with this one, I would do it just like this. Find that right there. So now I'm just going to go across and then drop my elbow to get to that belly and that flap. You can see it right here. So I'm at the tip. I'm going, drop my elbow to get that belly. So that's the same goal, except for right here, we're using a recurve. Just letting my elbow go up and down, up to the tip, down with the heel. Let's get the other side. Got the set and screws. And then the blue spacers and the clip for my DLC misdemeanor. It looks sick. The clip works great too. Black was out of stock, but whatever. We're ordering more, so we have more coming. And the black is polished too. It's polished DLC, so it's really sick looking. I actually am waiting for my satin version. I just sold them all instead of getting mine, so I'm actually missing some too. But we have some ordered already, so they'll be, in stock soon. And then with the Tonto tip, same concept. You just treat this edge and this edge separate, right? That's how you do it. You basically just treat it like two different knives. And then you can do one side at a time if you really want to. If it's like, if you struggle going back and forth, flipping back and forth. Okay, let's see. Yeah, see, that is so much sharper. Like, watch this. I bet it would cut paper towel out. And I've been using this like all day. It's definitely a lot cleaner. Let's try the nose. Yeah, that's definitely a lot cleaner. But let me just do it. Just a couple more passes. I want to get this corner, this fresh corner right here. Lower my angle just slightly. Because I know I put a 15-degree edge bevel on this sucker. Now, that's not going to be good for everybody. Because some of you guys use your guys' knives like screwdrivers, which I know I did use this like that too, but yeah, that's great. That's great. Look at that. So clean. And that's what you want to do. You want to keep your edge sharp, right? You want to, obviously you want to keep your edge sharp. But what I mean is you don't want to wait until your edge is dull and then say, oh, it's time to strop. No, it's time to strop fucking way before that. But yeah, man, it's awesome. You got your misdemeanor going with the different color hardware. Doing the same thing with these. We got some really cool color combinations. All right, so let's go to this Butterfork. We're going to go to the Butterfork. We will go back to the vitrified. We could use this 1000 grit. I got the idea of this one from Outdoors 55. I can't remember the name of the stone though. Okay, so this is a company. I got a link down in the description if you guys want to check them out. They have this new steel, all right, and it's supposed to be really, really good, especially for kitchenware. And it's supposedly has like edge retention, like S35 or something like that. And that's what the cartridge test would show. The handles actually come off. So let me pop this sucker out. This is a little tool. So what you do is you put it back here like this, and you can unscrew this, and then basically this handle will come off for cleaning, oiling, for whatever, which is actually really cool. So these are like made for kitchen use. Like these are perfect like chef knives, or you know, they're not cheap. Like they are expensive. They're very thin, very slicey. They came with really, really good edges. The spines are semi-crowned, but they are really, really nice as far as like the tactile feel. It's got this, it's a plastic, like a rubber, no, it's not rubberized. It's like a plastic grip. Red Horse does, or the Serene, which is a USA made chef knife. They use a rubberized G10, which is like the best handle material I've ever felt for kitchen knives. This is a plastic, but it's really, really good because you're not going to worry about corrosion. You're not going to worry about it. Anything with wet water. You can probably, to be honest, I would never put these in the dishwasher, but you could take the handle off and stuff if you really wanted to. But you should always hand wash knives. Never put them in the dishwasher. All right, sorry guys, I'm backed up. Connor, I think this is an everyone welcome. Yeah, everyone's welcome. Everybody's welcome. If I missed your comment, just say it again. I was shooting the shit, so I didn't read it. Once you do enough folder designs, you need to design a fixed blade. So guess what? I already did a fixed blade design, and I got more coming. I got one. I got the FLN version 2 on the way, and it is sick. It is so sick. So that's coming right now. And then I do have another fixed blade design that I'm doing with TCal. And then I'm planning on doing more. So I do got some fixed blade stuff coming. I got everything coming. There's nothing I'm not going to have. I'm going to have it all. Strickland or, I'm going to go USA. I'm going to go Strickland, but I don't think he's going to win. I think dude's going to beat him, but I want Strickland to win. Just USA, you know, instead of Africa. Oh, wait, no, is that, that guy's African, or is he Australian? I can't even remember now. Now he's had a brain fart. I think he's African. All right, so let me just read the comments. Not gonna lie, I like the name Inmate for your folder. Thank you. Yeah, I think it's a good one too. I'm hoping that comes out really soon because the Inmate has the rain on it. What you guys haven't seen yet is the color combos. So the color combos are sick nasty. We have a gray, so like the whole knife's going to be like a gunmetal gray. And then the rain that's on the handle is going to be purple rain. Then we have a solid green one where it's going to be like a plain knife where it's all just like just plain. And then green rain. We got blue and black. Man, it's going to be so badass. When or will there be another run of your misdemeanor? There will be another one. It's going to be just a little bit. It'll be a couple months. We got to put an order in, and we're probably going to do an exclusive with the company, and then we'll take half, and then they'll take the other half or something like that. So there's going to be some. It's going to be limited again. So, you know, if you want it, make sure you jump on it. Hey, Jared, I got an OLED Wicked Edge. It still works great. Love it. And want to find resources on the best stones, grits, medium for all the different steels. I've clicked. So if you, it depends on how much you want to spend. If you're willing to spend money, get bonded diamond. Veneve makes bonded diamonds for 4-inch. So I'm guessing you have a 4-inch stone holder. Now you could try to get a 6-inch stone holder for that system if you want to, you know, use bigger stones. But if you're going to stick to the same stone holder and everything, I would get either the resin bonded stones, or if you just want a great set of diamond stones, Atomas have the same thing. It's just like this. It's uses diamond clusters. They make little 1x4 stones of that. So yeah, I would go either diamond plate from Atoma, or number 2, I would go bonded diamond. Bonded diamond is going to last you a lot longer. Depends on what you want to do. You want to save money now or later, because the bonded diamond will last you damn near forever, if not forever. I got some greater dogs, by the way. They're not cheap. I don't even think you can find them anymore. But the greater dogs are like, they're like this wide, but they're only 4 inches long, and they're Veneve. They're double-sided Veneves, so it's like 6 stones altogether. All right, best stone for D2. Best strop for MagnaCut. Best steel for, or best stones for D2 is going to be diamond, because it has large carbides. And then stropping compound is stroppy stuff. I would do stroppy stuff, the hapstone stuff, or gunny juice. My favorite is stroppy stuff, which I have on Neve Knife Co. Link down in the description. Trevor something with the 5 bones, man. Shout out to you, man. Thank you. I appreciate that. Is it possible to sharpen flexible ceramic, or do you have to replace it? So yes, it is. This is the thing though. It's not like sharpening a steel. So sharpening a steel, you always want to start with a coarse, go to a medium, fine. With the ceramic, you cannot do that. If you do that, you will fuck that thing all up. You have to start with an ultra fine. So you basically want to start with like a 12 to 1500 grit and just slowly abrade it, and make sure you're using diamonds. Nothing else will work. Nothing will work but diamonds. It's the same reason why, you know, with certain steels, you need diamond stones, you know. Even if it will sharpen it for steels, it doesn't cut the carbides. With ceramic's like harder than steel. So you must use diamond. You have to use something harder than what you're sharpening. So get a very fine diamond if you want to try it. Now, if you have chips and stuff, it's going to be tough. I have seen people do them on belts before. I've personally never done them on belts. I've always done them on stones. So if you know, this is the thing, is you can get a ceramic knife in many cases by 20 bucks. So it's just, what's your time worth? You know, you could, if you maintain it from the start, then I would say it's worth it to just sharpen it. But if you let it chip up and stuff like that, just replace it, because you're going to spend way too much time on the stone. Okay, so I got the knife handle, beautiful knife handle, the Butterfork knives. We already talked about them. The handle comes off. You can clean it and stuff like that. Very easy. Also, you can change colors and stuff. If you want to see really quickly some of the color options they got right there. Pretty cool. That's for all different knives I have. I'm basically getting a grip that I feel like I can comfortably hold. I'm using my thumb to stop it from basically turning, because it is slightly rounded, so it can turn pretty easily, but using basically these 2 fingers to lock it in. And then I am setting it down in a comfortable spot. Wherever that comfortable spot is, I'm going to find it, because with any knife, yes, you can get very specific on the edge, but you don't have to. Pick an angle and stick with it. Because you're going to cut in a new bevel either way. If I cut in a bevel here or here, I'm still going to spend time on the stone until the bevel's cut in. So either way, just don't do one super low and don't do one super high. What I like to do is say, lay it down on the stone, cut it in half. So this is 90 degrees, right? This is flat. From 90 degrees to flat, I want to cut it in half. Right there is what, 45 degrees. So then I will cut that in half again, 22.5 degrees. That's a good angle. Or I can go a little bit lower to about 17, which is a perfect angle. So that's a good way to measure it, but you don't even have to do that. Just comfortably grab it, get it right where, somewhere in the middle, right? And then just use that. Not up too high, not up too low. Get comfortable, right? Because the biggest part is going to be whether or not you can repeat it, right? It's not going to be so much about your angle. Yes, in the future, when you get really good, your angle is going to matter more. When you're just learning, do not worry about that. Worry about maintaining your angle. So right now, this is my angle, because this is where I'm comfortable. I feel comfortable here. Bam, right there. That's where I'm at. So I'm going to focus at the heel. I'm going to go rock back and forth just a little bit. I'm basically just cutting in a spot right here. until I feel like kind of gritting. I can see the steel remover right there. Right there's my spot. So now when I go across, I'm going to go at an angle like this, letting my micro serrations move up the blade. Once I get to this belly now, remember my wrist is locked. I'm not moving my wrist because I don't want to fuck my angle up. So as I'm coming across, I'm going to get the belly now. So all I'm going to do is lift my elbow until the tip hits, and I can even grab my finger and push it in if I want to. So now when I lift up, my wrist is still locked. Drop my elbow down, I'm back at the same angle. So I'm just going to basically repeat that. And if you want to, you can go back and forth like this if that helps. So now I'm just lifting, dropping my elbow, lifting and dropping my elbow. My wrist is still locked. And then I'm going to look at my scratch pattern. I want to make sure they're consistently running at an angle, which I know they are, but I want to watch them because I want to see them go from the top of the bevel, you know, right to literally the top of the bevel, all right? That's the top of the bevel to down to the apex. So I want to watch my scratches go from the top down. And right now we've already reached. This thing's so thin, like it's paper thin. So we got a burr head tip to heel. That's a beautiful thing about kitchen knives. They are much easier to sharpen than anything else because they're so thin. Pocket knives are going to take you much longer. Connor with the 5 bones. Why are some companies hollow grinds seemingly flat grinds? Hinder, McNees, Armbar, because they're not. This is the thing. I know what you mean too. It's a shallow hollow. So is it really a hollow? Yeah, but it's a shallow hollow. I like deep hollows personally. The reason why they do it is 2 reasons. What? No, I'm talking about hollows. Shallows. Yeah, exactly. I'm knocking my burr back, just getting it out of the way. So when I go this way, I'm not going to tear it off. They're trying to. They would say they're doing it for toughness. They would say they're doing it for strength. They're doing it for toughness. But honestly, I don't believe that. I personally think they're doing it to just save money. Remember, the longer they spend grinding, the more money they spend on their knives. So, and I'm not saying that I 100% want them to make money. I want them to make as much money as they can. But I also think it's good to try to make your product to the best of your ability and then also make money on it. Now, whatever that means. I think their knives are great, but I do think that they would benefit from possibly dropping some knives that are made for cutting purposes, not for hard use. No leather strips on these knives. No, not yet. We do have some. We're about to have really soon, so very soon. I do have some linked down in the description though. I have a bunch of sharpening companies linked down in the description. You can go through there. I got the Neeves Knives store and sharpening supplies, and I got the Neeves Knife Co. There's nothing on there for stropping, but you got the Neeves Knives store down there. You got Hapstone. You got a bunch of them, bunch of places. So locking in the Neeves Knives store and sharpening supplies, I do have like budget strop stuff. Trevor something, welcome to the Benchmade, man. I appreciate the support. Make sure you watch that video on Monday because we have a giveaway. So locking in, same thing. Now, let's say this is my first time sharpening, right? And this was my angle over here, right? And I'm wondering, like, am I matching it over here? Don't go crazy about that. If your bevel's a little bit bigger or smaller on this side than this side, it don't matter. What's going to matter is whether or not you held it consistently. That's it. It's going to cut the exact same. Now, like I said, when you get higher level, those things matter more. But right now, you just want to be able to get a fucking sharp edge, right? So whatever angle you do over here, you could measure, over to the other side, but you don't have to. Just comfortably get the knife in your hand. Something that you can maintain the whole time. Set it down, somewhere in the middle, not up too high, not up too low. Focus at the heel, get the heel on there, just this part right there, that's what you're worried about. And then again, give it a couple back and forth so you feel like it's in a groove. And then once you're in the groove and you feel like your wrist is locked and you feel like you can move back and forth without moving this, because what you're trying to do is you're trying to move without moving your wrist. So you're basically locking yourself in there, right? And you can kind of use your thumb too to push down right here if you need to. And then once you feel like it's locked, now start using your elbow and let's roll in. Up, down, up, down, up, down. And I'm taking this finger and I'm focusing at the tip right here. So I can feel it coming, and I'm lifting, and I can feel it touch. Do not raise up too high because you will roll your tip. Plus, it's going to be a lot harder to drop back down to that. As soon as it touches, you got it. Trust me, you do not need to go more than, just literally it touching. You can even lean back and forth like this. That helps a lot. A lot of people love the lean motion. Some people like to do it like this, where they take a chair and they go like this because they have a swivel chair, and they literally just go like this. So whatever works. It doesn't matter. What matters is your ability to lock in, right? Lock in and get your angle and hold it. That's the most important part. We have a man, that is a nice burr right there. Beautiful. So now we are going to move on to this 600 nanowatt. So it's a nanowatt resin bonded diamond. This is a vitrified diamond, nanowatt diamond. Kevin Smith and I has been a member with the Benchmates for 15 months. Shout out to you. By the way, just so you guys know, anybody who's thinking about becoming a member, Rockstead members can opt for a one-on-one sharpening, which I'm going to be doing pretty soon with one of them. A one-on-one sharpening, but even better, if you're a member for 12 months straight as a Rockstead member, you automatically get a premium knife. So you basically get, your money back in some way, I guess you could say, maybe even more. Just depends on what you get, but it's going to be a premium knife. And it makes it work out because you might have won giveaways along the way, because by that time there's probably been 20 giveaways, 24 giveaways. Because we do, we do one every 2 weeks. You tried Gendy? Yeah, I don't like that. The Gendy stuff, man, the concentration is not good. That's one. I don't think they're consistent. That's another thing. And, yeah, maybe there is some. Maybe I just got a bad batch. I don't know. But the one I tried, I had a lot of issues with it, like a ton of issues. Not just the consistency and not just the aggression or anything, but like the bottle was clogging and stuff. I had to spray one. It sucked, man. But thank you for the 2 bones, man. I appreciate it. Okay, so we have a burr on this side. All right, I can feel it. The burr is a wire because we sharpen this side, right? As we remove steel, there was a metal wire that folds over while we're sharpening like that, right? We can feel it when we just rub up the knife like this. So I can feel it from tip to heel. I can go here, 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 all the way up to the tip. It's literally from heel to tip. Now, I want to get it out of the way. Because if I just start cutting into it, especially like in the first stone, it doesn't really matter as much. But when you start moving up in, after, the first stone, we're not removing a lot of steel. We're more just refining. So the first stone cuts our bevel in. The teeth are very big though. The next stone is going to take these teeth and refine them. It's going to make them closer together, tighter and smaller. But we're not really removing a lot of steel. A little bit, right? A little bit. And we got to remove the micro serrations that are on the bevel, but we're not cutting in a whole bevel. So now we want to protect our burr a little bit more, because it's not even about protecting. It's about, we don't want to just push forward, because what'll happen is it's kind of like having a bunch of jagged needles facing this way. I don't want to take something and go straight to the needle, right? Because what'll happen, it'll crush, it'll break, and then it'll just rip off. If I go from the back side of that needle, it'll just knock it down, right? So that's the idea. And then it'll fold it back over to the other side. So right now it's on this side, we're folding it back over to that side. Just like that. That simple. Very gentle. It requires no pressure. Tip to heel. Bam. You don't have to worry about your angle so much. You can raise it up a little bit higher if you want, because the whole point is just to fold that angle or that burr over. Hey, dude, 10 bones, man. I appreciate it. Signed on as a Rockstead this morning. Happy to be aboard. Appreciate all you do. Question for you, Jared. Tasty cake or peanut chews? Ooh, I like the peanut chews right now. I'm going with the peanut chews. But I'll tell you what, those tasty cakes were fire. Is that the vanilla one? Because that one was fire. Or no, wait, no. That was because there was that little peanut butter cup thing. What? Oh, okay. So yeah, so probably I like that. There was two of the tasty cakes that I really like. Okay, so thank you, by the way, and shout out to you, man. Appreciate the support, Chuck, with the 5 bones. Thank you for teaching me to freehand, bro. Not a problem, Chuck. Man, I appreciate you being here, man. Good dude right there. You on the road? All right, so we flipped our burr over, right? Now it's out of the way, like we said, very gentle. Now we're locking in, same angle, same everything. And you know, if you're not perfect, that's okay, because this stone is still aggressive enough that it'll cut in a little bit if you need to. Do the same thing, find your angle, get your flow going right. My wrist is locked. I can feel it. I feel like this is a good spot right now. I feel really good. I can go back and forth without moving my wrist. Now I'm there. So now I'm going to start. Then I'm going to lift my damn elbow to the tip and drop back down on the way back. Forward, back. Forward, back. And you can feel that groove. You know, once you really get in the groove, you can feel that sucker. And it's not, like, I know people say, like, I can feel that I'm holding the angle, I can feel the bevel. It's not the bevel that you feel. It feels like almost like you're on a racetrack, where it's like you're hitting it just right, and you are, and that's kind of the point. Like, it feels smooth, it feels like you're flowing well, and if you lift up or if you drop a little bit, what'll happen is it won't be as smooth. You won't feel that flow. You'll feel like it like cuts into the stone a little bit. A little Fitsky from my broski. Thank you, man. Thank you for the Fitsky. Love you long time, Jared. Thank you. He says hi, Kara. That was hey, it's Coach. Don't fuck with Coach. Yeah, no. Man. Okay, so our bevel looks really good. We already have a burr, which is, man, cutting in so fast. This stuff feels really good. But now we have to do the opposite side, I think, right? Did we do the opposite side yet? Well, we'll do it just in case. I don't think so. So, tip to heel. Knock that burr over to the other side. Let's go. We're going to feel like we got it. Locked in. Heel to tip, heel to tip, heel to tip. Tell you what, you don't need to spend much time on these stones. We're done. We're done with this one. Now, because we're going to move on to something special. That one was a 600. We could move on to, you know what? Maybe we'll move on to this one. This is one of Outdoor 55, Alex's stones. Well, not his stone, but he loves this stone. He says this is his favorite 1000 grit. Next to like bonded diamonds, of course. Welcome to the Spartans, Gage. Appreciate your support, man. Welcome to the Spartans. All right, so again, lock my wrist, same thing, hitting that groove, locked in place. And yes, I'm still on that same side. I could have flipped over to the other side, but it's not that big of a deal right now. As long as I watch my scratch pattern, as long as my burr is not, or my bevel is not being overworked on one side more than another. Got a nice burr, flip it over to this side. Oh yeah, that groove feels nice. And then once you got that bevel set, and it's a little bit large, it's much easier to find that groove. That groove just kind of comes naturally because now the bevel's set at that groove. It's a micro burr, but we're going to go just a little bit bigger. So lock it in. And then, by the way, if you lift off the stone, unless if you're doing a burr removal, as long as you're still sharpening, when you lift off the stone, when you set back down, make sure you do enough passes, because even me, right, as good as I am, when I lay back my angle, back down to my angle, I'm going to be slightly off. Even if it's by a cunt hair, like even if it's just a little tiny bit, I'll be off. So what I'll do is I'll feel it out. I feel like it's my right angle. I feel like it is, but I'm going to do at least 10 to 20 passes without lifting off. The reason why is because if my angle's off slightly and it's such a slight amount, I at least want my new bevel, the one I'm doing right now, to replace the other one since it's slightly off, which it will as long as you do like 20 or so passes. And now we have a burr. So now we are good to go. Let me clean this stone off. Oh, that stone cleans up really good. Oh, yeah. So this is a ceramic whetstone, by the way. Oh, Sharpening. Did I say? What did I say? I don't remember what I said, but this is it. It's made in Japan. It's a good stone. I like it a lot. I'm happy that he recommended it. Did I spray this thing? I got water on my damn strap. I might have to reapply some strapping compound now. All right. Now we are going to the VERO resin bonded diamond. This is basically a 3,000 grit. This is a 5,000 grit. That was 1,000 grit. So now we're going to the 3,000. Sometimes I'd like to go with the VERO 1200 first before I go to this, just because I know that from that stone to this stone, it's like a polish. We're going to see how it does. If I'm not happy with it, then we'll back up. But I think I'm going to be just fine. Who's your knife guy? Welcome to the Benchmates, man. I appreciate the support. Shout out to all the new members, guys. Don't forget Monday. Watch out for the giveaway. All right. Oop. See, I thought I was locked in, right? But I felt it. I felt it bite, so I felt I wasn't locked in. I'm going to do it again. Back and forth. All right, I feel that groove. I feel it happening. Let's go. Oh, yeah, it feels like glass now. That feels really good. So now my feedback is not as strong. And feedback is basically just the stones bite into the metal. It gives you feedback, and it allows you to know, like, if you're at your angle, if you're holding your angle, or if you're removing steel. Like, it's kind of like once your bevel starts cutting in, you know, it's like the stone gets smoother, obviously, right? Because you're not like grinding steel off. Because there's one thing, like if your bevel's like this and you're grinding steel off from the backside trying to flatten it out. And there's another thing, once you get to there, now it's like it's much smoother. So now if you lift up too much, you'll feel it. If you drop too much, you'll feel it because you're kind of in a groove. That's feedback, basically. This is now, because it's so much smoother and it's a much finer grit, it's more slippery, so it's not as much feedback, but it still feels really good, and it still feels like it's pretty easy to lock in. Yeah, we are ready. Go to the other side. So again, because I'm in my finer grits, I definitely want to flip my burr over, even if I don't feel it very well. Lock in and get to work. Make sure your heel stays nice and flat. Make sure you're not like this when you start at the heel. Make sure your heel is nice and flat on that stone, and you're basically pulling towards you, right? And then lifting. You're going at an angle, but you're pulling towards you. That's going to help you hold your angle a lot better. So straight back, lift. Straight forward, drop. Straight back, lift with my elbow. Now I can do that with my body too, like this, where I'm not even moving my elbow. I'm only just moving my hips. It's all in the hips. Shout out to Happy Gilmore. You can hear that angle is, I think he said, oh, yeah, you're just trolling. Feels like my angle's pretty good to me. You know what? I think this stone might be too fine for this steel. Let me just feel it out. Oh no, maybe not. Okay, let me just remove my burr really quick. You know what? Should we go to the 5K? I don't think so. Let me try the 3K really quick, because it's feeling like it's starting to slicken out. And once that starts to happen, you don't want to lose your bite, right? I like bite with my edges. That's very important to me. The bite is basically just the serrations and how well they're biting into the materials you're cutting. Yeah, it's still good. Okay, let's hit the strop really quick. Half a micron stroppy stuff. I'm on the edge with the 10 bones. Thank you, brother. Thanks all. Here's a little cashola for the coffee, man. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate the support greatly. So again, same concept, right? We find the tip, right at the tip. You can start flat if you want, and then just raise until you see that apex just touch. As soon as it just touches, get your eye as close as you need to get. Right, go as close as you need to get so you can make sure you see that touch. And then again, as you're pushing forward, you're just going to drop your elbow. So same concept. Let's do that again. Bam, right there. But make sure you're holding it in a way where as you push, you're not like bending and stuff like that. You know, you don't need to add a lot of pressure. Actually, you don't need to add any pressure. Let the leather and the stropping compound do the work. If you're ever unsure, go lower than higher. Going lower, meaning like, so that's lower, this is higher, okay? It's better to go lower than higher. Higher will roll your apex, lower won't do anything wrong. You just won't hit your apex. But it's not going to hurt your edge. Going too high will absolutely roll it over. There we go. That last one felt really good. All right, let's test it out. We should just start at paper towel. Start at the best sharpness tester first instead of the paper. Let's start with this. I think it feels good enough for it. Woo. Let's see if we can go through the perforations, one side to the other. Look at that. Holy shit, that is sharp, boy. All right, zigzag. Oh, yeah, we got it. We got it. Woohoo! That's sharp. But it is a kitchen knife, so kitchen knives have the ability to get sharper than anything else. And pretty soon, I'm working with the best heat treater in the business to make me a knife. And I'm going to make the sharpest knife on the planet coming soon. Literally, by far. So I got a plan. I know how to execute it. I know what to do to make this happen. And he's going to help me by ensuring that I have a very hard, consistent HRC, a great heat treatment, so that I have the best case scenario for creating something that's just, that's a real laser beam. Nero Haptic Conspirator or other for best budget-friendly, easy, reverse flickable, full-size folder. I work at home and angrily flick knives regularly. The Conspirator, I wouldn't put the Conspirator on there because it uses a fuller. If for the best you want a hole you basically want a hole of some sort. Some fullers work well, but they need a sharp edge. That's what the Conspirator doesn't have. The Nero Haptic, the Nero Haptic I would pick for that. For that one, I would pick the Nero Haptic. For those two. But as far as what is the best for that, thumb studs are really good for reverse flicking, but I'd have to think about that one. But thumb studs would be really, really good for that. There's a lot of knives with really good steels and really good everything in thumb studs. Now with holes, there's a lot of good stuff too. You know what's a really good one? The Kaiser mini Militaw. That's a really good one for the Spidey flick. All right, otherwise a Spyderco. Spyderco would be really good, but that's not a budget. This thing is so dope. I like this knife, man, so much. The first one we sharpened today. Ooh, that was my fault. My fault again. Listen to the sound of this thing. For crew wear, would you recommend 240, 600 Veneve, or 4/800 Veneve? I would. So what do you mean? So do you mean if it was for sharpening, I wouldn't start at a 240. The 240 is going to be a 600 grit the 600 is going to be, there isn't a 600. So I see what you mean. 240, basically a 600 grit. So the 400 is 1200 grit. The 800 is 3000 grit. Like this right here, this is the 800. This is 3000 grit. This is the 1200, which is 5000 grit. So just, you can times it by 3 if you really want. So you need to start with something coarser and then move to those. You can use those as finishing stones, but me personally, for crew wear, I prefer a low angle. So if you're doing a low angle, I would say then go to the 3K or the 800. It's crew wear takes a redonkulous sharp mirror edge as long as your angle's low. 4V, crew wear, Rex 45, K390, 14C28N. What are some more? There's a bunch of them. CTS XHP. And a lot of other ones, man. Just take like just the most insane edges with a mirror polish. Like there's like no comparison. Like they're on another level of sharpness with the mirror edges, because with mirror edges, it's about how it holds the micro serrations and whether or not they break off or fold off really easily. A lot of those steels are really tough, not all of them, but they have this good balance between hardness and strength, which just makes for very keen apexes. Link I just posted has the best edges for your knife steels. Thank you, Todd. Todd just posted a link for the best edges for whatever steel. So depending on what steel you're doing, I got a video on what you should use. So where is that? We can do one more knife. I got some budget knives here. Let's take one of these. Have these out yet? What is this? This is the new Maximal. Let me try it. So this is the new Maximal. I haven't opened it yet. Oh no, that one. That's not the one I want. It's that one, I think it was. I want to try one I haven't seen yet. Oh no, this is the cane. What is this? What is this? Maximal. Okay, so we have the Maximal and we have the cane. Let's check out the Maximal first, and we'll check out the other one. We'll sharpen one of these. I know they're brand new. I know they got factory edges, but factory edges suck. The factory edge should be your worst edge in reality. The worst edge you will ever have on your knife should be your factory edge. Now, obviously, when you're learning how to sharpen, that's not going to be the case, but it will be. If you use a fixed angle system, you can get a better edge the first time you sharpen, as long as you know the basics. That one's all right. That one's all right. Let's try this one now. Didn't I cut this already? Was this the cane? This is the G10 one. I have an aluminum one over there too. So this one comes in different handle materials. Okay, this is kind of cool. Come on. So this is their new cane. Kind of reminds me of a Dylan Mallory design in a way. Very grippy G10 though. Good access to that lock bar. Very clicky detent. Super snappy. Kind of cool. Blade still ARPM 9, or is it that new stuff? Yeah, the ARPM 9. Strong lockup. Nice and smooth. Let's that's a cane. Let's try this one. This one's a cane too. Oh no, wait. We want the Maximum. I want to see one of the other Maximums. So here we go. I don't know all the ones I have. I'm going to look at them really quick, and then I'm going to sharpen one of them. Dude, yeah, links don't work if you're on mobile, but you can just search the title name. Well, if you search title name, I won't get the kickback. So if you want to help the channel, if you do, just go to the previous video. The most recent video I posted has the exact same links down in the description, and just go to the link, and then it'll benefit the channel. If you don't give a fuck about the channel, then just punch it in. But I do greatly appreciate any and all support. Big time. Big time, Holmes. Did I do that right? I don't feel like I did. Yeah, this is all right. Hopefully that's right. Okay, so we got this Maximal in ARPM9. Kind of cool crossbar lock. Green micarta. Almost looks like it's already broken in green micarta. Slightly contoured too. Let me feel this little vibe really quick. Just want to feel her. Oh, she got some heel problems though. That's gonna be a son bitch. We'll get it though. Let's start with the Toma. This now we're getting a little thicker behind the edge, so we want to start with an Atoma 140. This is a very aggressive diamond plate. Removes steel fast. It uses diamond clusters. I have these on the Neve Knife Co. site. The best 3x8 diamond plates. So diamond stones are different than diamond plates. Diamond plates is literally what it sounds like. It's a metal plate with a layer of diamonds over the surface. A bonded diamond stone or bonded diamond is diamonds mixed throughout a stone. In many cases, it's a very thin layer like this. So this is a resin with diamonds infused. So it has way more diamonds than this. So they last a lot longer. That's basically the point. Congrats. You're the third most normal person I've seen on a live stream tonight. Fuck yeah, Spencer. Appreciate it, man. I know what you mean, though, because, man, sometimes I'll jump on the lives and I'm like, where the fuck am I? It's like, is this my feed? Like, who gave me this feed? You know? What am I looking at right now? Some of the weirdest shit ever. Like, it's like, I've never seen this channel in my life. Which is cool. Like, I like, you know, my stuff going to people that's never seen my channel, too. But sometimes it's like, did YouTube even think that this would be my shit? Jared, when punch comes to shove, CBN or diamond? CBN. When punch comes to shove. Diamond and CBN, you're not going to be able to notice the difference. They're going to be basically the same. The difference is going to be CBN cuts slightly faster, but it lasts longer. And I've tested that theory, and both of them are true. But it's such a small amount that you most likely won't be able to tell. And they're going to cut the same. So, like, one's not better as far as which one cuts steel better. I mean, aside from, like, aggression. Because CBNs are a little more jagged. So, and they wear slower than the diamonds. Now, diamonds are harder, technically, by a little bit. But they're basically the same. So, we have the Atoma 140. We got our knife. We're going to lock it in again, like I said. Thumb on the spine. It's going to stop it from turning and rotating. We're going to focus at the heel of the blade. We're going to find that sweet spot. Once we feel like we got the sweet spot, we're going to move back and forth just a little bit. Sometimes I use the center of my thumb. That's always a good angle for me for folding knives. I've yet to have found a knife where the center of my thumb, near the tip somewhere, keep repeating the same area wherever you put it. If I put it here, I want to put it back there. If I do it here, I want to put it back there. But I've never found a knife that this angle did not work on. I've rarely found any knives, but pocket knives especially. So, anyways, got the angle. So now what I'm going to do is I'm lock my wrist, and I'm going to focus at the heel, and I'm going to do that back and forth motion. Just kind of get that groove going a little bit. Kind of cut it in, because remember, this is a fresh edge, and my angle's lower than this angle. So this is like, I would guess that's a 22 degree edge bevel, 20 to 22 degree edge bevel. I'm trying to cut in a 17. The middle of my thumb usually is about 17 right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to focus at that heel, kind of grind it in a little bit, kind of get a little spot going. And then once I feel like I'm good and my wrist is locked and I feel like I can hold it, I'm going to lock in and now start going across. I'm pushing you guys. Redo it. Start going, and then now I'm right to the belly. This is a smaller knife, so now lift up. You know what? If you guys want to, let's go like this. How about that? How about them apples? How about them apples? And then I'll move you guys back here in 1 second. I just want you guys to see this. So as I'm going across, lifting, once I get to the belly, lift till I get to the tip. I can see the tip hit. I don't need to touch it. So now, instead of just dragging it back, I'm going to lift up. I'm going to drop my elbow and start back at the heel. So I can do motions just like this, or I can lock in and go back and forth like this. Whichever way works better for you. Sometimes I find that this works better for certain knives, and sometimes I find the other way works better for certain knives. And sometimes it's just where you're at in your sharpening journey. But I can easily see that my angle is much lower, not much, but it's lower than the angle that was on the knife. Not super low, because I don't want to spend too much time. The lower the angle, the longer it will take you, by the way. So the farther back your scratches hit the bevel, the longer it's going to take. If you don't want it to take a very long time, try to match. Try to just barely hit the top of the bevel and let your scratches start right there. Locked in. And since if I'm using my thumb trick, I don't even need to do anything. I can literally just tap it right there. And now to the stone, I'm good. Because you have that indicator. I know I'm at the right angle because I'm using the center of my thumb, or a little bit lower than the center, in this case right this second. And then we have a burr. Bang. This is a 140, so this cuts fast. Now, don't take my speed and make it relative to yours. This is kind of thin behind the edge. And no, it doesn't look like it. Like, you'll pick a knife the same size, and I promise you the edge will be 3 times as thick as this. All knives are different thicknesses, and when you get a knife with a thick edge, it's going to take you way longer. Like, the difference between me sharpening this and, like, let's say, just for an example really quick, sharpening, I know this is much bigger, but I'm just trying to show you an indicator. This is going to be a massive difference in time, because this is much thicker behind the edge. Now, if you really want to get crazy, and you get something like this is going to take, this would probably take me an hour to reprofile, maybe longer, just on the first stone. If I did a low angle, that's only if I did a low angle. Like, if I did not do a super low angle, then it might not. But anyway, so locked in, heel. I'm going to keep it on the stone. Keeping it on the stone is making me cut faster because I'm doing 2 passes every go. Now, if I do just the pushing motion where I lift off and go like, oop, that was my fault. Go like this, or I lift off and then put it back, then it's not going to go as fast, but I have found that sometimes my bevel turns out better that way. It just depends on, like I said, where you're at in your sharpening journey and how well you are at maintaining that angle. We have a good burr. We are ready to move to the other side. So, again, tip to heel, we're going to knock our burr back. We want to fold our burr back to the other side. This is a very aggressive stone. It does not need much. It's already done. Now, again, locking it up. Now, if I wanted to match this angle, I could make a line right there with a permanent marker and then kiss it to this finger like that. And then it'd be a little dot on that finger, and I'd mark it with my marker, and I could use it just like this, and do the same thing. I could do that. Just like that. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lock in right there. And I'm going to do the same thing, and I'm going to go back and forth. Now, sometimes you might feel like you're hitting the angle, the right angle, like the same distance, but in many cases you have a strong hand, meaning like I'll be way better pushing than I will be pulling, right? So my angle will feel like I'm hitting the same angle on this side, but I'm actually way off. So you got to figure that out. So only do a few passes and then take a look at it. Like right now, I can already tell I was lower on this side. I need to raise it up quite a bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to raise it up, and I'm going to go right there. I'm going to try that. And then as I push forward, back forward, I'm dropping my elbow and just driving it straight, so that I make sure I get the heel. And then as I come back, I'm going just basically straight and then lifting my elbow right to the tip, back and forth. Yeah, we're cutting fast, man. This stone is such a fast cutter. Now, granted, this is a budget steel. The tip, we're missing the tip. We did not hit the tip. So what I'm going to do to focus at the tip, if you ever get a part where you're not really hitting the tip, bring it in, get to the tip. I'm going to do it again. Get to the tip, and then once you get to the tip, you can just go kind of back and forth like that. But then you need to blend it. Do not do a lot of that. then blend it. Every time you work on any one area, you have to blend it. Don't do more than like 5 passes. So like passes would be like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You don't want to do more than like 5 to 10 because otherwise you'll change angles in that particular area. That's good enough. Okay, so we are moving to the next stone. What should we move to? Should we try some more of these little guys? Let's do that. Fuck it. So this is a 240 premium silver, and then we will move to a vitrified. So we got the vitrified silver. These are all the vitrifieds, I thought. No, this is the vitrifieds. Okay, these are the vitrifieds. Sorry, here, I'm going to back you guys back up. So we got the vitrifieds here. You guys see? I should go back a little farther. Bang! I think that's maybe way too far now. Is it? No, that's perfect. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do silver, silvers, and then this is a silver. We're going to use the 285 because that was a 140. The only thing, man, is I hate that I have to sit here and do this shit. That's why I can't wait till we get the stone holders on the site that you just move a thing and then move it and then clamp it back. This is just ridiculous. Yeah, when I sharpen, I get stiff and lift my elbow like a chicken wing. Got to do what you got to do. You know, you could put a band on your arm or something. That might help. How do I know what knife steel will hold a mirror polished edge? Is there a chart? Yes. Todd has posted it in the chat. You could just look up Neeves Knives, what steel for what grit or something. Look up something like that and you'll see it pop up. The thumbnail has a bunch of steels on it. So you'll see just a bunch of numbers and names of steels. That's how you'll know. And then I go through all the steels for the most part. The one I did not get in there was Rex 45 at that time. I got to renew it. Rex 45 takes an insane polished edge. 4V takes an insane polished edge. Crewwear, CTS 6HP, K390, 14C2010, Nitro V, and there's many others, or a few others at least. Okay, so I was knocking the burr back. Let's lock in. Oh, that feels so good, man. I love these silvers, man. I didn't need to use the lubrication on this one, but I did. You can just hear it, man. It sounds great. That felt really good. We already have a burr. That was beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Big burr, too. Not necessarily a good thing, but we got one. Okay, locking in again. So I'm going to focus my, since I can't use my finger to go across, I'm going to take my finger and I'm just going to touch the tip right on the spine, lightly, no pressure. The pressure I'm putting on this is not much, a couple pounds, because it's not a big deal that you do add pressure or you don't. The more pressure you add, the faster it will sharpen, for sure. But, so the faster the steel will remove. However, also the more likely you are to drop angle, right? So you want to use the amount of pressure that you can maintain angle without fatiguing, without anything. So I'm using a few pounds. Let me just make sure my angle's good. Yeah, it looks good. Oh, it feels so good again. This one's got a bit of belly on, so I got to lift it up a little bit higher than normal, which is why I'm kind of flicking my wrist down just a little bit. I'm doing that just to get the tip a little bit better. I convexed a little bit on that one. Let me redo that. There we go. That looks a lot better. All right, so moving to the next one. Now we want to go to, let's go to the vitrifieds now, because I really want to do these vitrifieds. These are silvers, these are the vitrifieds. Okay, so we got a 550, a 225. So this is a 225. This was a 285. This feels a little finer. Let me just compare the two, because that's a silver 285, vitrified 225. So this technically should be coarser, but I want to feel it. Yeah, it probably is. Not by a lot, but yeah. So we will go now to the 550, since it's, you know, feels about the same. I don't know why I'm using water on these. Well, this is a vitrified, I should, but not on those ones. All right. I think the DLC went first. Jared did say more clips ordered. Yeah, all of them are ordered more. So every single color will have more options. Everybody will have the ability to get one. Don't worry about that. They are coming, and they won't take long. So I love that sound too. I could put, this is like, you know, like ASMR. This is my type of ASMR. I fall asleep to this shit quick. There's none left over right now, but they're coming. They're going to be soon. Oh yeah, that feels really good. Sliding now. First normal person I've seen. That's hilarious. All right, let's see what you guys are saying. English only, please. Yeah, I definitely don't speak any other languages, so it ain't going to translate. And I don't got a translator here with me today. You know, we only do translators on Tuesdays. If you're interested in guidance, please update the video. Yes, I'm gonna, dude. I'm gonna do it very soon. I think that's a great video. I think people really enjoy those videos. I've done it twice. The first one I did falsely name 3 steels wrong, and it was just my limited experience with those steels. After you go dealing with those steels thousands of times after that, I learned that I was wrong. So, you know, that's why I updated it. And then the last one, I just left out anything I didn't have enough experience on, but now I do, so I could redo it. There's barely any steels I don't have a lot of experience with. Most of them I do. Obviously, not all, but most. Because just because if I have every steel, I don't like to base it off of one time, right? Like one steel, one heat treat, because the heat treats are different. So I like to base it off of, you know, 10, 20, 30 times. Different knives, different steels, blah, blah, blah. And like certain steels, man, I've dealt with thousands of times. So mostly tool steels take a whole polish. So what I noticed, KUBEY, to be honest, this is what I noticed. Toughness or strength, whichever one you want to look at. If it has a good balance of toughness and edge retention, like let's say the edge retention is like a 5 and the toughness is a 5, that's a good indicator. Now, not always. I'm not saying this is a paint everything, right? It's not like that. Like say if it's an 8 on toughness and a 6 on edge retention, that's typically pretty good. Typically, the higher the toughness, and not that 5 is bad, because some of the sharpest edges I take have a 5 out of 10 on toughness. But it seems like from 5 up to 10, if it has that strength and that toughness, they tend to do better. Not all. Like S35 is like a 4.5 to 5, but it doesn't do very well. There's a bunch of other steels that don't either. So that's not a paint all be all, but yeah, like I said, AEBL, if it's a low angle, it does well, but AEBL will slicken out, especially if it's not a super low angle. 14C, in my opinion, takes an even better polished edge, way more than AEBL. CPM 154 will slick out. It doesn't even take it, right? Some steels will take a good mirror polished edge. And it's not about whether or not it'll be a mirror. All of them will take a mirror edge. It's whether or not it has bite when you touch the edge. Is it sticky, right? Or is it slick? Can you just run your fingers back and forth? It can be as sharp as it wants, but if it has no bite, you can slip your fingers back and forth. Now, some steels will take a mirror polished edge with a lot of bite, but the second you use it, that bite goes right away. So that's what you want. You want a steel not only that takes a good polish with bite, but you want it to hold a good polish with bite. This feels really good, man. I love these stones. I really want to get these in 3x8s. Like this. I want to get this size. It feels so good. It looks great too. Very good. All right, let's move over to silvers. This is silvers, so this is the bondeds, or vitrified, I mean. And then we have, okay, so we were out of vitrifieds for those, but we do have this other vitrified, which is a 400 right here. So I think we could do it without moving it. Let's do it. Yeah, we're good. It's got that rubber. Oh, I love this one. Now, this was a 400, so technically I just dropped down. But that's all right. I want to cut this bevel back in on this side. Bang. Looks really good. All right, now I'm just going to switch right over here to this 600. And then I'm going to end it right here. This is ARPM9 steel. ARPM9 steel. So it's weird. It does take a good polished edge. It'll hold the bite fairly well, but not like a medium grit. A medium grit edge is definitely going to be superior as far as holding bite, edge retention, the whole deal. Now, this is the thing though. It does very well through stropping. It is a very responsive steel to stropping. So if you want a mirror edge on it, you can absolutely put it. You can put it on there, and then every time you use the knife or every so often, just hit it with the strop, hit it with a nice fresh compound, you know, like a 0.5 micron, 1 micron stropping compound, and you will bring that bite back significantly. It's very responsive to stropping. So if you want a mirror edge on it, you can absolutely do it, and you can keep it and hold it. You just got to strop, you know, which you should be doing with any steel anyway. So it's not like I'm saying like you got to strop a lot more. No, just strop often. And you should do that with all your steels anyways. Like I said the other day, you should be stropping your edge before it ever stops being sharp. Like it should be sharp when you're stropping. Like maybe not as sharp as when you came off the stone, but you know, still relatively sharp. Oh man, that feels good. Yeah, let's go. Great feedback on these. Not as much feedback as the VEROs though. Nowhere near, but still really good. Todd's been a member for 19 months with the Benchmade. Shout out to Todd. Huge supporter of the channel for a long, long time now. He's been an absolute asset to the channel. Oh yeah, this is such a beautiful 600. Like I said, this is a great representation of a 600. Oops, what does this button do? Thank you, sir. All right, let's do this side, and then we're going to end it right here, and we're going to knock the burr off and then strop it. This will be the last side on this stone, or for this knife. Got that groove going. Don't base your speed on anybody else's. Base your speed on you. What feels good to you, what you can control, and what you can hold, because you want to hold that angle really well. It won't do you any good going fast if you're not holding the angle perfectly. All you're going to do is mess your ability up to have a good apex. Okay, so I'm just going to use this stone to knock the burr off. So we have a burr on this side. It's a small burr, so it's very, very little. So I'm just going to do a little tiny burr flip, and then I'm going to go forward, because this is a very, very tiny burr. feel like there's something on my stone. I think there is. What? Yeah, it's like I can feel like grinding underneath the edge. Yeah. There we go. Like that. Yeah. We're almost done, guys. I'm almost done. All right, we are ready for the strop. For the strop man. All right, this should be pretty good. I do feel a little bit of burr still left on, but this should be able to take it off pretty good. Like I said, watch that, the tip, you know, like I was saying before, watch that tip, make sure you're hitting just the apex, and then as you're coming across, just drop that elbow down. Don't add pressure, because leather is malleable. So if you add pressure, the leather will roll around the apex. Like it'll go like this. It'll form around it. You don't want that. You want it to basically just ride the surface where the diamonds are and let the diamonds just clean out your microscopic serrations, removing any remaining burr and adding any micro serrations that are missing. That's pretty good, but I do feel a spot. I think the heat treatment on this one might not have been the best. The burr did not come off as clean as I would have liked. Let me just try something really quick. No. Maybe I should have fatigued the burr a little bit better. Maybe it wasn't a smart idea to go with the forward passes at first. It's sharp, but I can feel there's something left on the apex, because you take your nail. This is better than a microscope. Taking your nail and running it up the edge, the apex, you should feel like wet glass when the burr's all gone and when it's nice and sharp. But if you feel little tiny bumps, nicks, or anything like that, then you know there's something there. The thing is, though, is that like you can be under a microscope and not see it, but feel it. Yeah, it's a little loud. This 600 for an edge? Yeah, this isn't. I'm not happy with that. I'm not happy with that at all. It's got this little spot right there. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. Now we got to improvise. We're going to this ceramic rod. We're going to micro bevel. This micro bevel will take off the strop. We did about a 17-degree edge bevel. Now we're going to do a 20-degree micro bevel. We're going to hold it right here on this. Nice and flat. We're going to drop it down. As soon as it touches, that's the angle we're going to hold. We're going to hold that, and then as you go down it, we're just going to gently, no pressure. This is a time when we're not doing any pressure. Now, if there was damages and stuff, then I might add a little bit of pressure, but in this case, we do not want to add pressure. No pressure. This stone is hard enough and has everything it needs to do what we want it to do right now. It just needs us to hold this damn angle. Now we're doing more and more gentle passes. So the regular ones were very little pressure. Now we're doing less and less and less pressure, like where it's almost not even touching. There we go. That's a lot better. Now we could hit the strop first, but we want to check it first really quick, and then we'll hit the strop. There we go. That's a lot better. Sometimes you got to improvise. Yeah, that even feels better on the strop now. Yeah, that's good. That's great. That's great. That's wonderful. That was my fault. Probably wouldn't do it on the paper towel test, but it's sharp enough. All right, guys. We'll shoot the shit for about 5 minutes, and then if you guys got any questions or anything, or need me to show anything, we can do it right now, because then we'll close it off. We sharpened 3 knives. I think I gave you guys a lot of great information. If you're just tuning in, you can rewind it I gave very specifics on how to hold your angle and how to make sure you get across the stone without changing angle. It's really valuable stuff, and I have hundreds, probably thousands of sharpening videos teaching sharpening at a very, very basic level all the way to a high level. So I have every type of sharpening video you could ever imagine. And I teach everything from freehand, fixed angle, belt sharp, literally every type of sharpening you can imagine. All right. Love how passionate he is with knives and sharpening. I'm new to sharpening, and he has helped me tremendously. I watch these videos a lot. Thank you, Dylan. I appreciate that, man. And yeah, I think it's good to be passionate about stuff. I think that just period, you know, like I'm passionate about a lot of things, you know, like I love animals, you know, I like collecting like coins, gold and stuff like that, silver pieces and stuff. I love fragrances. I'm huge on fragrances. I got a big ass fragrance collection. I love watches. Did construction my whole life, so I've always been into like tools and stuff. But it's good to be passionate about stuff. I noticed with the Victorinox steel at work, I almost always have to micro bevel it. Yeah, you know, the reason, yeah, it's because it's soft. That's exactly why. It's Victorinox steel. It's like 56, 57 HRC. Feel has so much to do with it. You got to put in the time. You do have to put in the time. You do have to put in the time, but that's why I was saying, if you do the motions I was saying, you will get the feeling faster. The problem is when people start, and I did this too. This is why I know I was wrong, because I did this where I started off and I'd try a method and it would start working, and then I would change it, and I would change methods because I would feel like I should be doing better. So I'd try a new method. By the time I was done, I tried so many different methods. I was confused, like what actually works. But if I would have just did what I say, where you lock your wrist, use your elbow, maybe your body, but the point is lock your wrist and use your elbow to get to the tip, or body, you know, and then elbow. If you do that, and you do some of the other tricks I said, you will get the muscle memory, because that's the point. You want to build that muscle memory. And then through the time of you building that muscle memory, which will come pretty quickly, you're going to start feeling, you know, whether you're holding your angle, you're going to feel these little tiny details, because they'll repeat themselves over and over and over and over. And next thing you know, you'll understand it, every part, you know. Are the NEEVES still hard to get? Yeah, they are. At least to my knowledge. Speaking of fragrances, I got beat on eBay. Dolce & Gabbana Blue. Not supposed to smell like baby powder. That sucks, man. That sucks. I just, I got a really good one. Roja. R-O-J-A. It's really fucking good, man. It's a very masculine scent. I got a bunch of good ones because I get them. I get 3 new fragrances a month. I've been using the Roja with this other one. I forget the name of it. I got it over there, but it's a sweet fragrance, and I literally use the both together. Fucking banger. Deadshot's got a benzo. Hell yeah, good for you, man. One day I'm going to have a Porsche. I damn sure am. Can't wait. Is it possible to use too light of pressure on diamond stones? Yeah, I guess. You know, if you're just floating across, yeah. But like for burr removal, no. Burr removal, no, you can't. There's times where maybe you can, but typically you're not gonna. You just want to make sure your bevel's flat, right? As long as your bevel is sitting flat from the heel. Remember, it always starts at the heel, so fuck everything else, just right here at the heel. Once you're there, you just want to hold it flat. So as long as you can hold that flat and you can run it down and lift your elbow and get to the tip, then it doesn't matter how much pressure you're going to use. It's fine. It's fine if it's ultra light like I'm doing right now, or if you add some pressure like I'm doing right now. It's okay. And then if you add a little bit more, that's fine too. Just make sure you can hold that angle, because what will happen is the more pressure I add, the more likely my spine is going to go like this. And then as I go like this across and go to my belly, I'm going to dip. Watch me dip right now. I'll go like this, and I'll dip down like that. You don't want to do that. You want to keep it the exact same angle, because here's the point. There's 2 angles, right? So you have your edge bevel angle, which this is the one we're protecting right now, okay? We want to hold that one in. Then you have your blade shape angle. That's two different angles, right? So lock in this angle, the angle going back and forth. And then this one you can play with because this one isn't so, it's, you know, it's your blade shape. So you want to lock that sucker in. And as long as you can do that without messing with your wrist, then you're good. Every dude from Chicago wants a Porsche. No, fuck that. I will have a Porsche. It's not about me wanting. It's a what? Yeah, they all want Lambos. Porsches is something that's like in my DNA. I've been passionate about them since I was probably 8 years old, and I mean like on a massive way. Like I even had to prevent myself from watching videos and looking them up for a while because, you know, it was killing me so bad to not have one. Like I've been crazy about them. So, but I'm gonna have it. I'm definitely gonna get it. I'm busting my ass now to hopefully get to that. Well, not hopefully. I will get to it. Gary, thank you for the 5 bones, man. I appreciate it. Ombre by Baldessari is such a good apple whiskey leather frag. That sounds really good. I like leather. I like whiskey, and apple. I like the apple scent I got from YSLs. Most of them, not all of them. 14C, D2 or 14C, 14C all day. D2 in many cases might hold the edge a little bit longer, but it depends. I've seen a lot of 14C that outpace D2. It just depends on the company that's doing it because D2 is very finicky. 14C is pretty consistent. Yes, some companies do better with their 14C, but 14C was made for mass production. D2 was not. So D2 is very difficult for companies to get consistent. So one company's going to do it different than another. So we've seen basically all the companies are doing it mediocre. 14C, they're all doing pretty good. But D2 on paper does have better edge retention, but 14C takes a better edge, easier to sharpen, deburrs better, holds more bite, takes a polished edge, loves low angle edge, and has a shit ton of toughness and corrosion resistance, which those things D2 does not have. Oh, fuck you, Jonathan. Get out of here, Jonathan. You're kicked out of here. You're not allowed back in here. You know what's really good? You want a good tobacco fragrance? It's like a sweet, leathery tobacco. It's Boss. What was it? Was it Absolute? Fuck. I'm going to mess it up. Oh, man. Where do I got it? It's Boss Absolute something. And it is so good. Gonna gift myself a knife. You should gift yourself a knife. Hey, Jared, how's it going? It's my birthday. Good. Happy birthday, man. Happy birthday to Nadav. Appreciate you for being here, man. And yeah, happy birthday to you, man. Good for you. How old are we? Stop wearing such wonderful fragrances, and you won't need a sharp knife to keep the weirdos away. Touche. Would wearing a wrist brace help locking wrist? Yeah. No, I could. The problem I think you'll have is the feeling of holding and getting that. Like I said, you want to be comfortable. You know, like later on, you can worry about being uncomfortable, right? Right now, you want to be comfortable so that you can hold it and maintain it. The point is to get it across the stone and back, either lift it up or put it back down, and to go and repeat it or to keep it on the stone. But either way, so that you don't go up or down when you're moving. You want to keep it perfect. That's why I say lock your wrist, move your body, right? Nothing's happening now, right? Now I just need to get to the belly and the tip, lift my elbow. No wrist, right? So that's why I say that. Now, if you put a wristband on, it might not feel as comfortable holding that angle, but you can try it, though. I've done it because I have carpal tunnel and shit, so sometimes I'll wear it. Just got that Boss fragrance. It's great, but no, not the one I got. The one I got lasts like 12 hours. If it's the Boss Absolute something, it's the one I got. It is a beast mode fragrance.
I got like 10 of them. Like, is 15V a passing fade with triple B's heat treatment, or will it be here to stay? I think it's going to be here to stay. I think that it's definitely not going to be a passing fade. It's a fad. It's not. Triple B is an amazing custom knife maker. He does amazing heat treatments. So him getting Spyderco to do his heat treat protocol is already big in itself. Now, luckily, Spyderco does kind of that same thing with all their steels, meaning they try to do the best quality heat treatments on their steels. That's kind of the beauty with them. So yeah, I think that's a steel that's going to stay. It's not a steel that takes a good, like, ultra fine polished edge, but if you keep a medium grit edge, it's great. Dior Sauvage Parfum is hard to beat. It's a good one for sure. That's definitely a great one. It's an Ambroxan bomb. I got pretty much all the Sauvages. It's definitely a good one. The problem is that because it's so good, a lot of men have been wearing it. That's the only problem with it, is that you're more likely to run into another guy wearing it. But, not that big of a deal if you're not around, lots of guys that wear fragrances. So, especially with the girls, because girls love it, because it's an Ambroxan bomb. The best Ambroxan one by far is Versace Dylan Blue. Versace Dylan Blue is a masterpiece, and it's cheap. It's beast mode. It lasts like 16 hours, 20 hours. Sometimes, man, I feel like it'll last for days. But beast mode fragrance has a sweetness to it, has a slight spiciness, but a super fresh fragrance, like a fresh shower gel fragrance. And it's a lady killer, man. It's a fucking great fragrance, man. I love it. Versace Flame is I need to try the Flame. I haven't tried that one. I got a lot of the Versaces, but I do not have that one. But, all right. You okay? I still rock that red tobacco. I love red tobacco. There's another one, if you don't want to spend that much. I found a knockoff of the red tobacco that's about 95%, about 95%. It's called Tobacco Myth or something. Yeah, it's called Tobacco Myth. That's a good one if you love tobacco and you want a good tobacco fragrance. This is a cheap version of the Mancera. This one right here, because this one's a lot more expensive. Beast mode, absolute beast mode. Let me grab that new one I got. So the past 2 weeks, I've been wearing this. This shit's fire, but this stuff. So I've been wearing Roja Elysium. Fire. Very expensive, though. That's why I just get it in these sample bottles. Then you won't spend that much. But it's a very masculine, musky scent. Little bit of citrus, not a lot. It definitely has some green in it, though. Oh, fuck, it's so good. It's not like plant-like, but green, like, hard to say, kind of like a mint leaf a little bit, but not like minty, not the minty part, the leaf part. But then it has a little citrus, has some boldness to it, maybe even a little hint of leather. And then this is Maison Louise Marie. Not sure if it's a female fragrance or not, because I got the fragrancing where they send them to me, but it's a sweet fragrance, and it would be a unisex one. But Maison Louise Marie number 14. You guys want to see it? Let's see if you guys can see it. I gotta wait a few seconds to see if you guys can even see this. Come on. There we go. All right, can you guys see that? Yeah, you guys can see that. So it is a sweet fragrance. So what I do is I'll use this and then a pop of that, and it blows your socks off. Like, absolutely blows your socks off. I've got a bunch of compliments from it already, so I'll do a little dab or do. So I put less of the sweet because the sweet is sweet and it's kind of powerful, but this is very powerful too. Very expensive. This is a very popular fragrance. That's the reason why it's so expensive. And the maker that does it is very popular. That one's really good too. Vibrato some of the best. This is the best citrus fragrance on the market. Vibrato. It is. They call it the female vibrator. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. I appreciate you guys joining me. Appreciate you guys talking fragrances with me. I can talk fragrances all damn day. But yeah, red tobacco. If you want the ultimate tobacco fragrance, a little sweetness, a little spice, lots of tobacco. But if you don't have the money for that, because it's like $100 and something, this is only like 20 bucks, Tobacco Myth. So, and it's a big bottle. So, and it's, like I said, 95%. So, work hard, stay tough. Till next time. Peace. Oh, did I miss something? I picked up a custom. Oh, you're right there. Let me make sure I didn't miss any donations or anything really quick before I leave. Shit. I don't think I did. All right, guys. Okay. Oh, Gary, thank you for the 5 bones. Gary, I appreciate it, man. I see that right now. Thank you, Gary. You're awesome, man. Fucking awesome.